I forgive him. Gosia, sociologist and psychotherapist. What is it about forgiveness that makes so much trouble for those that need to forgive themselves first? Often, again, in the therapy room, I notice people's stories in which they go through tremendous hurts, either far in the past or even recent, that they try to forget in a way by just quickly stating, I forgave, there is nothing more to remember, and no, I choose not to go there anymore, I just forgive. Or being even led by some spiritual doctrine, thinking that they have to forgive and forget. Guess what? It never works. It never works when it happens only intellectually. Why is that? Because forgiveness, it's not an action to be completed in a moment, and especially in a moment of willing to do so. Would be great if it was the case. I cannot tell you how much I wished that to be the case. And again, small self-disclosure. in the past, I tried that as well for many years. It never happened just because I wanted it to happen. Forgiveness is a process. It's not an act. It's a process of sometimes even re-experience the hurt consciously. The moment we push something away, it bounces back in our face. But if we are taking it again consciously, patiently, and see this and that happen, and it freaking hurt. It hurt then, it hurts still. I would like to forgive and forget. But the moment of revisiting that hurt makes all the difference, because it allows us to open up all our senses and the hurt to that experience again. Sometimes it might be as painful as the moment in the past, but what is the comforting aspect of it? We don't need to relive it. So we don't need to just roll in and play out every time. No, we need to do it once, but consciously. Consciously bring everything back into the forefront as if it was happening at the moment, and allow yourself to feel it. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to scream, scream. Why? Because it freaking hurts. And when you allow yourself to do that, you will complete the cycle of what maybe you did not allow yourself to do when you've been hurt there in the first place. Maybe you were too small, maybe you were too vulnerable, maybe you were in this fight, flight, freeze, collapse mode, when you just experienced that happened, and you still didn't know what happened after it happened. That's why you were not allowed to experience that, to let it go afterwards, because you still were passive in that moment. You couldn't do anything. So healing is often going again, revisiting it, allowing yourself to feel. And then when it's done, then you decide to close the book, put it back, and move on. And from that time, if you have the will to forgive, it will happen eventually. It will roll out every time. When you think about it, will be less if this process were successful. So after that, we might talk about forgiving. But again, as I said, it is a process, not an event. So I just wanted to signal that if you went through something very painful and you feel like you need support, don't be afraid to ask for it. Because I can tell you that process is successful, but you probably need some support to complete it. But I can tell you, everybody that is willing to go through that, they have a huge chances to succeed in forgiving. I hope it's going to happen to you as well.